Alright guys, what's up? It's Brian with Gentle Onion Gaming, and we are bringing you another episode of Game Thoughts. This will be episode 2, and we're going to talk about the PlayStation experience that just happened, and basically just go over what we thought were like some of the more exciting trailers we saw, some of the more exciting games we saw, our personal favorites for what we're going to look forward to playing, and to just get into that. So, who's got something they're excited about, boys?
Well, let me run down the list really quick, because PSX just happened. There was a couple new games that they teased that are a big deal.
Right.
But I'll just kind of go through some of PlayStation's exclusives that are coming out. Some of these may be either console exclusives or timed. But here's the list. Tell me your guys' like maybe top 3 that you're excited for. All right. So you got Horizon Zero Dawn, the Uncharted new DLC
For 4?
It's a DLC for 4. Yep. I guess it's the story of Claire. Is that her name? No. Nadine and
the person that's in charge of
Nadine. That's Nadine in Uncharted 4. But who's the chick in 3?
That sounds right.
Or Chloe.
I was like,
I don't know why I can't remember.
It's like a C name.
It's their story, so it's DLC there. Gravity Rush 2, Gran Turismo, Last Guardian just came out. Nice. And then we have ones like What Remains of Edith Finch, which is done by Giant Sparrow, which they did Unfinished Swan, which is I'm really excited for that. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, those are kind of, and then of course, The Last of Us.
Last of Us 2.
Part 2.
I guess I can't really say that I know too many of those, and other things that just don't interest me. Like I've never been into Gran Turismo, but Last of Us 2 sounds amazing, and Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, those guys are amazing.
Yeah.
I've never not enjoyed what they've done, and I've even seen some gameplay. It just looks like another one of those experiences, like experience games, you know what I mean? And I'm really excited to see what they do with that, especially since it's been in development forever.
It has been so
Yeah,
long.
so I would really hope that it's actually really kind of exciting, and hopefully kind of can keep carrying the torch that the other 2 games that before it came.
I'm going to have to say that Last of Us Part 2 is really high. Personally, I'm the type, like when I look at Zero Dawn, Horizon, I don't know what to think. It could be a game I really don't care about at all, and it could end up being really sweet. I'm kind of waiting for reviews and seeing if I'll play that after. The Edith Finch one, I'm really excited for that. And so like I'm not gonna lie, the big AAAs that they came up with, I'm not like super whoa about. And obviously, like Death Stranding had a new trailer. They gave like a lot more information about what the game looks to play like and stuff, but
no actual gameplay or anything like that.
Yeah, but it looks that looks pretty cool too. But I'm definitely gonna give that a try.
One thing that I actually cannot stand that's been happening is like with Norman Reedus and PT, and his name was on the trailer when we watched it.
Yeah.
But it also had that other guy, and I can't remember his name. I think he was the Bond villain in Casino Royale.
You don't like them having real actors in there?
Not really. I mean, to me,
I think it's a cool movement forward.
To me, it kind of takes things away from who I think the character could be, because it's of people who have already done things.
That's true.
It's like when you go to read a new book and it's got the actors' faces on it. It's like,
it kind of does limit.
Like,
limit
I wanted
the
my
medium.
my own thing to come up with that.
Hey, I kind of feel you there. That's true. That's true. It gets a little
Limits the imagination of the character.
I'm not a fan of Norman Reedus. Unpopular
Wow.
opinion. I'm not.
All right, Colter, what was your favorite?
So, Last of Us 2, obviously.
Obviously.
Horizon Zero Dawn is, once again, like Brian said, it's something I'm kind of interested in, but don't know exactly how it's going to play out, so I'm just waiting until reviews or people that played it to say, hey, this game's actually good. Because we had it so many times with No Man's Sky, Destiny, The Division, where it's just like
like there's a lot of hype, and then you get the game, and you're like, "This isn't what I thought it was."
Yeah, it's just overhyped.
So I don't know. We got to see.
And then Last Guardian.
Yeah, Last Guardian. I think we just need to play that since it actually is out by now.
Exactly.
But okay, here's what I want to talk about though with it. They had and pretty much the only part I watched was this like big just trailer after trailer thing they did, and they had a lot of very indie feeling games that they were showing that are going to release, and there was a lot of cool ones like Ni no Kuni 2, that is like, Japanese animated kind of like, maybe it's an RPG. That's something that appeals to me. Like, oh hey, that's cool. They had a lot of games like that, and two that I want to point out that I think might be really interesting, mainly because we like to do co-op, we like to do competitive games here, is Absolver, which I don't know if you guys saw, but essentially the gameplay of it is there's two things that this could be. It's called Melee Online Action or something is like their tag, and basically it looks like a fighting game where you fight against these other people and you have like swords, and so you have to do all these moves and blocks, and it looks like a For Honor ripoff a little bit. So I don't know what to think there. Like, maybe I just wait for Honor and we play that instead. But Absolver was interesting in the little 1-minute trailer they played. The other one I have here was Dreadnought. Did you guys see the trailer for that?
Is that the space combat?
Yeah, with those giant ships, and there's one clip in the trailer where one of the ships is shooting the missiles, and the other ship has like anti-missile things on there, and so all those lasers are just destroying them. And the tag was like, your ship, your team, your victory. So it sounds like something that either you're going to have an entire team running a whole ship, which would be really cool if you have to control locking on. Yeah. Like, I mean, basically your Star Trek crew. It's like someone's flying, someone's using weapons, someone's locking on. And that sounds awesome. Or you have a bunch of different ships with different strikes, and you have to fight with, these things. And both those games I thought were really cool looking. I don't know if they're exclusives, but I know at least one of them has exclusive content for the PS4. So
as far as Dreadnought goes, I have heard that before from E3 as well a couple years back. It was just pre-alpha footage gameplay they showed, though. But it was pretty much what they discussed is this is going to be a game where you control this ship, you'll have these abilities, it'll be...
Is it one... I think I know, you like run around the ship and like repair it as you go and stuff. I think I've seen that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. What is
they have shown some of it before.
I don't think it's the same game, but I know what you're talking about. But I think the indie presence they had was really cool. Really
and that is kind of how PlayStation operates. Like they were the indie machine before it was cool. Before Xbox kind of started doing the same thing, or Steam, with their arcade. So yeah, they always have a good, strong indie presence.
I think it's really important. Seems like when you're waiting in between AAAs, if indie developers aren't pumping good stuff out, you can get like really bogged down with nothing to play. Yeah, and that sucks. So, what else do we have that we thought was awesome with PlayStation?
Well,
experience?
I'm on the opposite side of you with Horizon. Horizon is probably one that I'm most excited for and obviously The Last of Us is amazing, and so part 2, that trailer, it's going to be phenomenal. I don't doubt Naughty Dog like at all. They're possibly one of the greatest game developers there's ever been.
Exactly.
And so, but that being said, there's a lot of speculation that this game may not come out until like 2019 or 2020.
Wow, why are they even showing it then?
Well, yeah, exactly. But there was word that after Uncharted, that the team that was doing that, I think they had people doing some Last of Us within Naughty Dog.
Okay.
But then once Uncharted finished, half of them went to do the DLC. Okay. And so so it is like we can't make any kind of like excuses. Like this is super early. And it's not going to come out for a long time. So even though I'm excited about it, it's not like on the forefront. I'm really excited for Horizon. I think it's such a cool concept, and I think that it has such a I don't know what the word is. I guess just a lot of potential. Because you don't know much about it. You know that there's like these monsters that are walking around.
Okay, I know that game now.
And it's going to be really cool to figure out because it's supposed to be post-apocalyptic, right?
Yeah.
But it's like they're back in time. And so who planted these robots, and like what is all this stuff? So I find this game really, really intriguing.
Yeah.
See, that's the only thing though about the game that kind of catches me is the story about it is how did these machines even come about? Why is it this way?
Well, and they're like animals. Well, that's the weird thing.
Yeah. I forgot what this game was. Now I remember. Zach showed this to me a while ago when it just had its first little trailer or whatever. I think it looks awesome, and I'm on the same thing with Zach, where it's like they're prehistoric almost. But the only difference with the prehistoric aspect with these creatures, these behemoths, is that they are all robot. They're all technology.
Yeah.
And so it really makes me want to know what is going on.
Well, and you're like fighting them with a bow.
Yeah, exactly.
But the arrows, I think I've seen even in a trailer, arrows can have like mini EMPs even. And I don't know. It's almost like the future got so far away that it crumbled society back down or something. Or maybe there's an AI thing and that's why it pumped out. Like animals in the form of robots.
It could also be one of those things where it's the robots are just taking back control just because they think it's what's best for humans.
So, I mean, I'm not going to lie.
And this is Guerrilla, who did Killzone. So that's another really cool thing is that they're going away, even though Killzone was great, they're kind of doing something different. I want to see what this team can do.
That tapered off real quick.
So
if they can kind of refocus with what made them good, in my opinion, with Killzone 2, and really kind of improve their story, which is kind of where I think they lacked a lot. I mean, their gameplay is always solid, so yeah, I think that's got some potential.
And this one is coming out late February, and I think out of the list that I just said, this is the one that at least has a date.
Yeah.
Because even the DLC for Uncharted doesn't have a date.
Right.
So everything else may be a ways out, and this is the one that I'm like ready to kind of sink my teeth into.
Is Horizon?
It's Horizon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's really cool about it. I like hype for games, and it's much more likely that I'm going to go buy something when they release a trailer. You see it, you're like, "Whoa, what is that? How cool is that?" And then they're like, "It's coming out in 6 months." You're like, "Oh, I'm going to buy that game," because then the hype just is right there, and I want to buy it. When I have to see trailers for things like years before, I try to actively forget about it because I'm not going to pay attention to something. So yeah, that's true. Anything with a date coming out that actually is like, hey, this is coming out now, was probably what I was more excited about.
See, because we got that, Sony's been a little bit lax with this kind of stuff, and hopefully, I think it's very strategic that we saw a trailer for Death Stranding, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just don't think we'll probably see much from that game or The Last of Us for a long time. Hopefully, at least a year, maybe more like 2, because in all reality, those games are at least 3 years out.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they scrap that one again, too, or what.
I know.
God knows.
Well, now that Sony's backing them, I mean, I'm sure it'll go through, but I don't know what the time, the creating time was for Phantom Pain, but I'm pretty sure it was kind of a long and tortured thing. So I'm hoping this isn't the same kind of deal.
There was a couple other things that came out that for me were pretty cool. They did announce Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Wow.
I'm not big into new Marvel vs. Capcoms because I'm not good at that fighting game particular. But, I always am excited by new ones for the, esports or, the competitive aspect of it. I love watching pros play those games even if I'm not good at them. But it seems a little bit more simple, so it might be a good way for me to get into that game. So that's pretty neat that it's actually happening, and that there's a new one. And they also released the first character for Street Fighter V Season 2, and it was Akuma, and he was sick with a new trailer. He looked the actual character looks really weird because he's so different. But the move set looks sick. They definitely didn't go Ryu, Ken, Akuma are all going to be the same. They're just going to be the Shotos and do the same moves. He looks totally different. He does different combos. It looks like you can do a little bit of mix-up game with him, and so having those released as well is a really big thing for the fighting game community and what they've got to look forward to as well. So I wanted to mention that as well.
And aren't there 4 more that are coming?
Yeah, there's going to be a total of at least 5. Yeah,
they said
new
5,
characters.
5 new playable.
That'll probably be over the course of potentially the whole year, or maybe usually every 2 months or so.
Your boy's got to be coming though.
Yeah, if they put Blanca
Blanca's
in
got to be coming.
yeah, I need Blanca. I got to troll some people, but so yeah, I really hope that's true. But other than that, I'm not sure what other games. There was a lot of, like I said, indies that we'll probably look into and stuff. But so let's just overall rate how excited we were when we like came away from this PlayStation experience. Like, how exciting was it?
Well, I thought it was a great conference. Like they, Naughty Dog opening and closing it is crazy. Because
that's smart.
Yeah, it is
that is
smart, and I think that's partly, and that's probably the majority of why they showed Last of Us, because it is so like kind of early on, but they needed that punch, because they've kind of been lacking it. The exclusives for Sony have been just not that great. There just hasn't been much that's come out, so I think that was really good. I think even bringing things back like Crash Bandicoot,
Yeah, the
and
remaster.
redoing that. I mean, I think that's just like it's all like it was for Sony PlayStation fans.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
catering to them.
Yeah, they do conferences really well. They have been of late, just being like, "Hey, we're gonna come. We're not gonna chat your ear off about trying to sell you crap. We're just gonna show you a bunch of games and hope that sells you crap."
Yep.
So yeah, I thought it went really well. I thought it was good. I didn't watch live a whole ton of it. I usually
Right.
wait till people have kind of compiled it because I don't know. I just don't have that much time to sit there and watch. It's just straight, but. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I definitely am excited about games coming out. So yeah, it was good. But I think that's pretty much it, guys. So if you liked what you see and you want to join the Onion Patch, hit the sub button right now. And head over on Twitter to give us some topics or your thoughts on games. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
So, when I woke up, I noticed all your guys' messages saying, "Hey, you're late," which
He was.
To come here.
I
Do
was.
this.
I woke up we were supposed to be here at 1 hour, about an hour and a half later, so I overslept a little. But anyways, I noticed the Facebook Messenger icon. Didn't even recognize the person on it. I was just like, what in the world is going on here? So I opened it, and on it is some person working at Pizza Hut telling me that my mail got delivered to one of their drivers somehow, and now that it's at Pizza Hut, I'm just like, what on earth is happening? And I look at the photo that they sent me, and it's actually my mail. I'm just like, what? How did this even happen?
So Colter had his mail delivered from Texas to a Pizza Hut in town.
And this is what we were talking about before Colter got here, was this is just Colter's luck. Colter seems to have these situations happen to him quite often.
Weird things that don't happen to other people. Have you ever heard about somebody's mail going cross country and being delivered to a business?
And see, the other thing is, my mom had the same trouble with our post office. It was supposed to arrive here in Butte at our house, and it instead ended up in Colorado somehow.
Maybe your mom does not send mail. Like, I'm telling her she needs to think. They just don't know what they're doing. Colorado, a Pizza Hut. Ridiculous.
So Colter went to get some pizza and picked up his mail.
What did they
Mail.
send you, Colter?
It was $100 for my birthday, so
So
that's
they-
going toward PSVR, obviously.
So they could have just taken it. Is what you're
Yeah.
They could have, but thankfully they didn't.
It was
got-
cash? It was cash money?
It was in that check.
Oh.
So
Hey, we got a great Pizza Hut here in town. They're not scumbags, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
yeah.